The Wendy's Friday Night Blitz continues on WPRI 12.
Welcome back to The Blitz. We've got Eric Rube in studio from the Providence Journal, and we're going to get right into it. Rube.
You know what today is. Ruby Tuesday. So, Sunday I'm at the game. I see a lot of media at a lot of games, and it's not hard for me to pick out the media. It's not hard for me to figure out who's good, who's bad, who's doing work, and who's just there because they're trying to get clout and they're trying to, I don't have time for that stuff. So, there's an Instagram site that I've slowly been keeping an eye on. It's called the RI Sports Network. Now, for me, media is just one big competition. I want to be better than everyone. That has always been my goal from the start, is I want to beat everyone at everything. Because that's how I was raised. That's what sports are for me. Everything is competition. It doesn't mean I don't respect who I'm going up against. It doesn't mean I don't want them to succeed, but I want to win at everything. So when I see new media come in, immediately my antenna goes up and I'm like, okay, who are these people and how do I beat them? And when people start now coming into this Instagram world that was it was a quiet scene like 4 or 5 years ago. Ballin' RI was like the first guy in, and then I kind of followed him up. And so we started, you see people who are chasing clout and people who are doing it for the right reason. So when I saw RI Sports Network, I'm like, all right, what are these guys doing? And I liked the content they were putting out. They do a lot of stuff that I can't do, which makes me jealous because I can't do it. And I want to be able to do a lot of the stuff they're doing. I'm one person. I don't have the time and I don't have the skills or talent to do what they do. So I was very intrigued by what they were doing. One thing they did bothered me though, and it's something that I know a lot of the young people out there don't understand, is the copyright rules as far as the internet goes. If I take pictures of an athlete and they want my photos, I will send them to them. What I don't like is when all these other media sites use Providence Journal photos. Those are our photos. My company doesn't want them being used on other sites. And for better or worse, these other sites are competitors. So the reason why is there is so much invested in the work that we do. Like the camera equipment alone, I mean, we're talking, it's thousands upon thousands of dollars, tens of $20,000, $30,000 worth of stuff. So this is why we don't want, if you want this content, you create it yourself. So I saw that they had taken some of my photos and just kind of used them in ways. I didn't love that. And I had seen some of their posts in the past and they said very much that they were they very, very complimentary me, which me, love compliments. So I wasn't too worried about it. And I kind of just sent a message like, hey, can you not do this? And we had it was a great discussion, a great back and forth. And, they're like, oh, sorry about that. We didn't know. And it was good. So the other thing is I didn't know who these guys were. And when I was at Classical, I saw somebody posting from the game. I was up in the press box because I'm soft. But whoever was posting for RI Sports Media was posting from the sidelines in the rain. So tons of respect for whoever did that because I was not doing that. So Sunday, Burrillville, East Providence. I'm watching the game, and I come to find out that these young men that are working are with RI Sports Media or RI Sports Network. And I'm like, oh, cool, that's who you guys are. I didn't realize they were high school kids. I didn't realize they were athletes. And it was no big deal. These kids were on the sideline and the professionalism was out the door. There's no, the number one rule for media is there's no cheering. You don't cheer. You can get excited when someone makes a play, and I do. When I see people make plays, I love it. But you're not cheering for a team to win. For me, I always tell everyone, I don't care who wins. I want to see a good game. I want to see great competition. I want the game to be over as fast as possible because I just want to get out of there. But these kids were unbelievably professional. They were taking their video. They were keeping their space. Yes, were players talking to them? Yeah, because they know each other. But it's no different than when I'm walking the sidelines and people are yo, what up, Root? I was impressed by their professionalism. So immediately, I'm on their side. They're there to work. They're not there for anything else. At some point, and I don't know what started it, but there was an injury to some players, and all of a sudden, these Burrillville people come over and they start yelling at, you guys are with St. Ray's. And in one of the most embarrassing displays I've ever seen adults do, these assistant coaches from Burrillville shoved a camera in these two kids' faces and took a picture of them. It was this big gotcha. And it's they're media. They are members of the media. It doesn't matter if they are students. It doesn't matter if they're adults. They are members of the media, and they are allowed to be on that sideline. It doesn't matter if they're members of the team that you're playing next week, they are there in a professional standing. And to see adults treat kids like this was insane. This is the one thing the league always preaches is this: everything is educational based. And what RI Sports Network is trying to do is teach these kids how to be, how to be content creators, how to be members of the media. Do they need lessons in journalism? Yes, probably. There's probably some things they should do that, I'm not going to, I think that they need to be a little more upfront with who they are, exactly who the people are. So that way, when they go out there, people know, oh, they're with them. Like everyone else, every single person I've supported in the media, everyone has to get credentialed. Like, you need a credential. That's the number one thing. But I was kind of disgusted at what I was seeing, how Burrillville was acting, because they were so paranoid about these kids who happened to play for St. Raphael that were there working. I stepped in, and they were the athletic director was trying to figure out who they were, and I told him, these guys are media. They're media as much as I'm media. They deserve to be here as much as I do. They are here in a working capacity, and that's all that matters, and that's all that should have mattered. And it kind of got settled out. I don't know what else is going on. It was kind of over at that. I had some words with the Burrillville coach, who's a great guy. Me and him talked afterward, and he's like, well, you can understand why I'm mad. And I get why he would be upset that he would see this and why he would think something was happening. But, and he understood where I was coming from. Like, that's media. They're working their butts off. They had every reason, every right to be there. So, I have all the respect in the world for Burrillville's head coach. But, I can see this. I can already foresee this being a problem down the line, because in my experience, the league, schools, administrators, and even people in this business don't like these news sites. They don't like these Instagram accounts. They don't like these people doing things that are different. And they want everything done the traditional way. They want it done like newspapers. They want it done like TV's always been done. That's one of the things I think that's kind of helped me rebuild the Providence Journal brand, is that I've done things differently. I don't want to do things the way they've done. I want to do things the way they're supposed to be done later. I'm thinking 5-10 years down the line, not thinking now. And that's kind of what these guys are doing. They're doing stuff differently than me, but it's a working profession. Do they have, an office? No. Do they have a newspaper they print out? No. Do they have a website? I don't know. They have an Instagram account, and I know they have 17,000 followers, and I know some of those came from previous iterations of what the site was, and they are doing a great job with the content they are producing. They are posting an insane amount. They have in-game content out there. I mean, it's no different than the stuff I'm doing. And to see people get so pissy about it is aggravating. I don't know if they, and it's no different than the photographers I see out on the sidelines. We got Baby Clairvoyant killing it. My guy Darius killing it. There's so many, Nostalgia killing it. All these guys are out there and they're working their butts off to produce, to get content. And it's not done in traditional ways. The one thing I will say is all of these people, I think everyone needs a credential, because that ends it. Now, if the league isn't credentialing people, that's a problem. And I'm here just as someone to say to any of these new media people, if you're out there and you're working your ass off, oops, didn't mean to cuss, sorry. I'm going to stand up for you. I'm going to have your back, because somebody I hate doing this and saying, oh, I'm the big guy. Somebody needs to stand up for the little guy. And if I have to do that, I'm going to do that. There were years when I worked at the Weekly and nobody cared who I was. The league was they didn't know. They thought it was no big, they're basically worthless. And I did not like that. And I told myself, if I ever got to a position where I had any semblance of power, any semblance of reputation that I could use, I was going to do it. And in this case, I am here. Do I want to beat the hell out of Rhode Island Sports Network? Yes. I am competing with them every single way, but it's a good competition. It's a friendly competition. I want to succeed, because I know if I'm doing great things, they're going to try to do great things, and it's just going to create great content and make everything great for everybody. And if we can all compete at this level and do it, and I'm going to work hard to beat them, but I'm going to support them in every single way, because they're doing it the right way. Now, if things go south, if they start doing things the wrong way, or kids start acting professional, different story. But until I see that happening, I'm gonna have their back the whole way. So I'm really hoping that at some point the some point the league can kind of realize that things are being done differently now. You don't need to have a traditional media. You need the TV stations, you need the newspapers, you need a different way. But this social media world that we're living in now, you can have organized media there as well. If this is something you want to start out doing, you have to make sure you're doing it right though. And the first thing is just a professional attitude. Like, you sit there and you act like you're supposed to. You're not like high-fiving guys. You're not screaming. You're not cheering. You're just there, and all your number one concern is your work. So I see this from RI Sports Network, and those are my guys now. Like, now we're bonded. I will go to war for them. Any of my guys I go to war for. Once I go to war, it's over. Like, I will fight for anybody. So I will do whatever I can to support those guys. I hope you guys, if you're following me, you're watching this, please, if you're not following them already, go follow them. Yeah, that's where I'm at with that. And I just hope that the coaches, league, administrators, everyone starts to understand that this new media is still media, and it's no different than Providence Journal. It's just because it doesn't say WPRI or WJAR. It's not one of these people that you know. They're still working. They're still doing good work, and we should support them more than we should support them. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be keeping an eye on them, making sure they keep doing work. And I just hate when they get stuff that's better than me. It's really aggravating. Really aggravating. Like, some of the in-game stuff with how they put... I'm an old man who doesn't know what he's doing. I just post my videos. I do the same thing over and over again. And then here comes RI Sports Network. They put graphics all over their highlights. I'm like, come on, guys. You're killing me. You're making me look bad. But it's all in good fun, though. It's good. It's going to push me to be better. And but yeah, I like it. I like the competition, and I'm staying with them. So the next thing, while we're talking about social media. So Thursday night, I saw one of the best catches I've ever seen. Daniel Rose. And it was a great the video from Bebe Clairvoyant. If you haven't, he did the thing with